In this video, I'm going to show you how to access one of the more advanced features of Recogito, which is setting up particular annotation preferences for your document. In order to access the annotation preferences, you go to the Document Settings view, and as you can see, there is an option for annotation preferences in the menu on the left sidebar. Let's click on that. So one of the first things that you may want to do is to select a subset of gazetteers, namely authority files, that Recogito uses to propose you available matches for the place names in your document. Now, by default, what Recogito does is to use all of the gazetteers to propose you available matches. But depending on the particular document that you're working on, you may just want to use a subset of these gazetteers. In order to do that, all you have to do is to uncheck this box. And as you can see, the gazetteers become active. And so from this point on, all you have to do is just to uncheck the boxes of the particular gazetteers that you do not want to use. And your changes are automatically saved, so you don't need to do anything else. Something else that you may want to do is to add a simple vocabulary file that contains a set of authoritative tags that you may want to use in order to annotate your document and match entities against your own particular vocabulary. And this is particularly useful if you're working on texts that are very full of complicated personal names, for example. So let's see how to do that. All I have to do now is to create a file that matches this particular format. So I want to have on the one side an authoritative term, a vocabulary term that defines my entity, and I want to have a comma, a space, and then the URI, the concept URI that may be associated to that particular entity. And this will allow me to retrieve these identification URIs as I download my file after completing the annotation work. So I've already created my file, and everything that I have to do now is to just upload it right here. I've got my file, which is named Vocabulary of Entities. I'm going to choose it for upload. And as you can see, Recogito gives me a little preview of what that file looks like. And you can see that I have uploaded a few terms, a few key terms that I may want to find in my particular source, and I have matched them against Wikipedia entries. So it can also be as simple as that. If you're not happy about your particular vocabulary file, you can just delete it and have it cleared. Now I'm going to show you how this changes your annotation process. Let's go back to the document view. Now I have already annotated the muses, for example, but I may want to add a tag that connects the muses to a particular authoritative entry. If I click on tags now, what it shows me is actually a list of the terms that I have created for my vocabulary. And so I can click on muses, and it's going to add that tag automatically. And I also have the option of adding that tag to all of the occurrences for the term muses. And I can, of course, do the same for the Olympus, for Zeus, and for other more obscure occurrences of, for example, commander names, and so on and so forth. Now, what this does in terms of improving the annotated data that you have is to replace the normal tags that you would use in the annotation process with the authority links that you have used in your vocabulary. So, for example, if we download our CSV file, so that is the normal spreadsheet kind of download, one of the most used formats for Recogito, what happens is that the spreadsheet actually offers you the authoritative Wikipedia links that you have used in your vocabulary in place of the normal word form tags that you may be using in a normal annotation process. And as you can see, the two terms that I haven't matched against available vocabulary references do not have that kind of link.